Hello team, my name is Talaman, and as you can tell from kind of this setup, we are going to be playing a completely different kind of game right now. So I'll just start diving right in. This game is called Dwarf Fortress. It's based on you're a little dwarf, you want to try and kind of, well, you're not a dwarf, you're running a dwarf kingdom, and you have to start with this. I'm gonna go with mineral occurrences frequent, and it'll all make sense soon. I know there's colors everywhere on the screen. It doesn't, well, actually just mostly right here. But um, yeah, so okay. I guess I need to start explaining some of the windows. The one right above me is actually the main game window. It's what I'm going to be actually playing the game in. But then the window that you're seeing off to my, what would that be? Even in the video, it's on my left. Well, yeah, because it's right here. So, and you can't see any of that. But that's called Stone Sense. That's actually going to be a visualizer that you guys are going to use to see the game itself. I have a tiny window on my second monitor of that, but I'm mainly going to play it through the original text interface. And I left this in here because you guys are going to want to be able to see kind of what I'm doing. So this is loading up its history. I said be done with it. Because it's an amazingly in-depth game. Amazing in-depth game, which you're not going to get until we actually get in and start playing through it. I'm not an expert. I frankly have barely a clue as to what I'm doing, and I usually can't survive for that long. And the game actually kind of pokes fun at that idea, but it also calls it fun that it's fun to die. And I'm talking way too much. So I'm just going to continue. If you've ever played this, or you are kind of like a veteran or a pro, or you've done much of it, you're going to probably cringe at all of my techniques and the methodologies I'm going to try and employ, because I am not an expert, and I want to play for the channel because I think it's an amazing game that deserves a frick ton of attention. Just okay. Wait, enter to pause, finish. I keep messing up my button combinations because I want to describe the game and so I say you. I keep saying C. I mean to use U. Enter to accept the map as it stands. It's going to offload units. This is one of the main reasons that it's so amazing, is that really the game just develops, as far as I can tell, large, huge arrays of data. Just oodles and oodles of data, because it's mapping out almost like every unit's history, all of the locations' histories, the movements of things. It's all stored, all of it, for a procedurally generated world. We're talking hundreds of kilometers of space, basically, that is occupied by quote unquote living, breathing things. And in some kind of ideas, if you've ever, okay, so I'm going to start playing. We just generated region 3, Ewakamade. Ewakamade. Welcome to Ewakamade. We're going to actually play, there's 3 different versions of this, which is insane. Dwarf Fortress, which is what we're going to play today, which is where you jump in and you just kind of create your world, and run a dwarven kingdom. The second one is called Adventurer, where you, as a player, actually do an RPG style. So now it's generating the world. We are in the month of Granite in year 115 of the world for Ewakadata, however you say that word. Yeah, so it renders kind of that world. You pick your starting location on the actual map. If you see it directly above me, the far right panel is the world that we're kind of examining, and then we get a slightly zoomed in version with the region, and then the local is on the top left. So there's lots of different regions here, and again, I'm no expert, but I'm walking you through this whole process so you might be able to go download the game, which you can get a hold of it for free. It is out there, or when you download it, you can choose to make a donation to the creators of the game, and it's frankly one person programming it, and it's a couple of brothers who are actually kind of behind the idea. My preference is always to go where you see where we have a river, kind of like this. Um, in the top right, and I guess I can still use my mouse because you'll be able to see that. It's played mainly with the keyboard, so the mouse will be going away after a while. There's a river, and it's very compressed right there, actually. The oceanic swamp is this region that we're in. Temperature warm, trees woodland, other vegetation moderate. The surroundings in this area are called the Untamed Wilds, and then it has this kind of layering to the soil, basically sand, shallow clay, very deep soil, then an aquifer, which is just an aqueous layer that if you mine into the rocks, you get poured in like water, and it kind of sucks to try and dig through. Then you get deep metals and flexstone layer after that. So really, that only gives us deep metals, and I prefer, frankly, zones without an aquifer. So I'm trying to find one without an aquifer, but also has a river. Like this one right here. It doesn't have any trees, though. Yeah, trees is 0 because we're in the mountains. So maybe not the best idea. Now, this one, if we go over... Because the main reason I like a river is because then you get access to... Okay, and this still doesn't have trees even down there. So that's... We want wood, too. There's lots of things to weigh. Aquifers everywhere. Let's try here. Seriously, aquifers... Oh, here we go. Here we go. Check that one out. Trees, woodland. It is a woodland area. You get sand, clay, deep soils, shallow metals, deep metals, and some flexstone layers down deep. I'm no expert. I don't know if that's good, but I've also found that it's more advantageous to take advantage of those kinds of things. I like to set mine a bit bigger because I have got a beefy enough computer. I can kind of handle some of this. I want this to be an interesting area. Now, ooh, see, this is a spring where it starts, but we also, again, we get an aquifer. So what about down here, aquifer again? How about up here? I don't think the game will ever let you actually spawn into an ocean. Never really tried though. Let's see, where else can we go? What about over this direction? Because there's lots more world. As we keep kind of panning over, I'm noticing that I was really only exploring one single continent. And then if you notice too, these are walls, kind of that I'm highlighting right there. There's already a civilization here. It's been in the game, which throughout the history that game rendered, it came to exist, which is a nuts concept. Nuts. Okay, there's no music. It's my voice filling the void. Let's just find a spot and get in. Trees sparse, so there still is some surroundings wilderness. Vegetation moderate, sand, clay, deep soil, deep metals. And then if we actually, oh, hey, check that out. Wait. Yeah, there's another one down here. Saying there are none, but if we are down at this edge, there's a cliff, a mountain, a stream. Well, it's a brook. We can at least get water, and we might be able to divert that later on if we get deep enough into the game. Trees, they're still there. They are sparse, though, but you can get a lot of wood in this game. Surroundings are untamed wilds. I think the yellow refers to kind of a difficulty, so maybe we'll see some fun happening. So I'm going to choose this location. I'm going to say it's good to go. I'm going to increase the size one more time. We're going to center our... Yeah, we'll go this side. Wait, mirthful surrounding. Mirthful. Mirthful sounds terrifying. We also want that clay layer in. And it's not telling us what occurs over every single tile. It's kind of the averaging of it. Which is why you notice if we go off to the left here, we don't get clay. But yet I know there's clay because some of the lower layers have it. So the music ran out, but either way, we're going to hit E to embark. Enter gets us going. If I prepare for the journey carefully, I can pick certain items to take with me. I like a little bit of RNG in my games, so I'm going to pick Play Now, which just sends me into the game. And unfortunately, you've only been watching kind of this little window directly above me going, but now the one over here, Stone Sense, which is a Dwarf Fortress hack mod that plugs into the game and grabs it, which is great because guess what just popped up? The world itself, which is when you actually play Dwarf Fortress. If you've played it before, you probably have only ever seen the one single text page of like what's going on, which is what you'll see going on right above me. But You have arrived. After a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond, your harsh trek has finally ended. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all of Tasinduduk. However you say that, I have never found out. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance. Whether by bolt, plow, or hook, provide for your dwarves. You are expected a supply caravan just before winter entombs you, but it is spring now. Enough time to delve, secure lodgings ere the wolves get hungry. A new chapter of dwarven history begins here at this place. Kol Gikuk, wheel dabblers, strike the earth. So, yeah, okay, we're in it. Now the nuts thing is directly above me, which looks like a window into the Matrix. You're actually seeing the game itself, and I hope that renders it through enough in enough resolution. But even if not, that is the window that I'm going to play this game in. You'll notice too if I hit K, I can talk you through all the controls, but I think at this point it's going to be more interesting just to see how I get after some of this stuff. So first of all, I just want to get a sense of the world. So let's see. I'm going to go back up a layer and just kind of check out. So there's the trees here. Oh, hit the question mark. Here is the river. And yeah, here's kind of where it all starts. Okay, cool. Very, very good. And then let's go back to our caravan. So the first thing that I'm going to do is dig into the wall here. And actually, let's do that on the valley floor here. Dwarves don't have any trouble with going up and down slopes for the most part. So let's go right here. Yeah, and then we've got all of this kind of right side area. Okay. So dig into here. We'll limit it to one area there. We want to remove the up-down channels. So that carves 1Z to remove them. So this is a much slower paced game than perhaps we might be directly used to. So finding trees. We're gonna need some trees. So if we go ahead and do that, we highlighted some trees for chopping. See if we can get a few more. Maybe not. Okay. So now the miner that I have around is going to be able to get after it and use it. Oh, the other thing that I forgot to mention too, and you guys can't unfortunately see it, but I do use what's called Dwarf Fortress Therapist. So Dwarf Therapist is the real name of it. If you ever get annoyed by having to manage every dwarf in your kingdom by going through, let's see, how would I even do it again? It's like, nope, let's see. I think it's U for units, and then you can go to the unit itself by pressing V. Okay, wait. Sorry, and then you hit Z, go to unit, there it is. And then under these, you can actually select and tell it what to do, basically. But it gets very, very complicated being able to actually tell them how to do their job. So I don't even mess with that. I said the heck with that originally, and I picked up what's called Dwarf Therapist, which allows you to assign jobs or capabilities, essentially, things that the dwarves will attempt to do, regardless of their skill level. Anyway, so there he is. There's my little dwarf. So we see him here. Oh, that's right, my mouse can actually go. That's kind of trippy. The recording software that I'm using is recording things in certain ways, so it's kind of fun. But yeah, so yeah, here he is. He's doing his stuff. And he's gonna be picking away there. He's mining currently the half blocks, which are the stairs. And you notice how he kind of jumps around because there is no animations for this game. The only ones that you're seeing are in this original game window. So yeah, kind of nuts. Oh, he felled one of the trees. So yeah, they're gonna start hauling up the wood. So at this point, I really needed to find some quick stocks for them to be able to store things. So if we go in here, we hit mine, we're gonna mark these items and these locations. And then we're gonna say, go ahead and dig that out there. So now our miner will get after that. Let's see about maybe here, and then they need an initial meeting hall. And then let's put a up-down stair down here? Question mark? What's above us? Right there. I don't want to go up. We just want to go down with this one. So downstairs J. And then we go down a layer, 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 down a layer. That was the wrong one to do. Wait, I need up downstairs. So that one, 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 that one. Ah, okay. J for the downstairs. Okay. And X's, when they're pre-marked on the screen itself here, that's what they're gonna mine on my game screen. The down, like, less than, or that's a greater than symbol, will be the one that he will mine to make a down stair. The game is intricate. Dwarf Fortress is insanely, like, precise about everything, because it's God, in some ways you kind of almost have to think of it as like the Matrix. It's basically the Matrix. Yeah, your little dwarf could be Neo, and he could know that he's in the code, and that he's only working for the big man up top, this guy, playing the game. Okay, let's define some zones. So I'm gonna highlight this region here, and we're gonna say it encompasses the river and this little pond here. And we're gonna both do some fishing and water sourcing here. That's gonna be good there. Down this direction is a wide open field. I also want to define then to make a stockpile. Oh, not squad. Let's do... Which one? I always forget my buttons. Where is it? Stockpiles P. There it is. And then refuse is under R. So you always really kind of have to tell the dwarves that they can go and throw away stuff. Because if they don't, they'll let it sit there. And that's not healthy. So this is going to be a garbage dump. D. They'll generate a fair bit. So I just want to give them a... What is this? Highwood trunk. Oh, that's a tree. So if we go up a layer, up a layer, up a layer, up a layer. On the stone sense, you can actually see those trees existing. And then you guys can actually see multiple layers down. I'm currently way up on level 149. If I go back down, we obviously see kind of the rest of that. So, but yeah, it just looks super pretty, doesn't it? Yeah, so that's very cool. Being able to see Dwarf Fortress visualized and that kind of methodology, it's something you don't get when you regularly play the game. So it's fun to look at. Let's open it back up here. There, now we can see kind of the beginnings of our... There's a little kitty cat. He's going up to say hello to Godin. Godin's our miner. He's like #1 dude in the place. He is the boss, man. Because, like, if you don't have a miner, you are out of luck. Absolutely. What kind of gems is he getting out, actually, already? What are these? Milk opals? Whoo! Oh, dang, dude. That's awesome. So right now we only have 7 dwarves, and in the future you can get more. If you get more people, obviously there's more things to be able to do. You have more capabilities as kind of a fortress, which is a really fun activity. The last fortress I had, I got up to like 114, 120 or so dwarves running around, and that gets nuts to try and manage, because then you start having a lot of interpersonal dwarf conflicts, and those can usually result in fistfights and people being very unhappy. And the unhappiness spiral of this game is terrifying, because if people start being pissed at each other, they don't stop, because they have no outlets in a tiny little fortress like this. They just keep brushing up against each other, and they keep having problems. Part of that is alleviated with alcohol. They really like alcohol. But yeah. I hope you're kind of seeing, too, the way that the worlds relate to each other, because Stone Sense is an isometric view, whereas Dwarf Fortress itself is an XYZ coordinate plane, or XYZ coordinate plane, but it's all laid out kind of at right angles to each other. I don't know how long I'm even going to play for this. This is just kind of like a first attempt to show you guys kind of what's up with how these games work. But yeah, so we're kind of in this valley. Oop, that's going down. If I back out a little bit, we can kind of see the surrounding valley walls here on Stone Sense. Kind of, you know, very realistic, right? Because this is all procedurally generated. Every plant was never, like, predestined by anyone. The plants just showed up there because the code said, hey, that makes sense. Let's take a quick look around. Yeah, check that out. There's another tree trunks. And you see how it kind of gets hazier because that's lower down. So that gives us a sense of kind of like the altitude of things. There's more trees over here. We can find out what kind of trees those are actually too. Let's take a look. That's a willow. This is a willow tree right here. Let's take a look at this one. That's a hazel tree. And it's interesting too because they can't obviously, like, the trunks are doing their best, the people who developed the Stone Sense mod, because they're trying to apply a texture to a lot of different kind of objects. So this is a high wood, and then there's high wood tree trunks. What about this one? What's this green one right here? Almond. Let's see, more almonds. And then let's check one more tree. This is a sand pear. Alright, tell you what, let's go down a few layers and check out what kind of plant this is. Okay, so we are here. So this one that we're highlighting, that little tiny sprig, that's actually a almond tree sapling, which will maybe one day, if we play long enough, turn into a almond tree. This is a claystone boulder sitting there. This is dense meadow grass. What is this stuff? This is drop seed grass. Wow, what's back here? Oh, that's the pool water. Check that out. And I actually don't know the answers to many of these. I'm just checking stuff out. I think it's cool. If I pop in F1, it returns me right back to what I was looking at. And unfortunately, during our little look around, we did have the game technically paused, timed out. But that's okay. That is A-okay. Alright, let's have them chop down this tree, actually. There's a tree right here. There. Down another layer. So he's finishing up mining out this little tiny room, which the first thing I'm going to do is tell us we can make a stockpile out of stone. Actually, I kind of want wood, though. I want everything, but we'll start with stone. Excuse me. And right there. And how about wood for the rest of it? If we watch too, now we can see the rest of the dwarves kick into action because they haven't had tasks directly that they're able to do. And they're going to go off and do their own things now. And that's very good of them. Very kind. We haven't even talked about workshops yet, which is going to be coming up as soon as we can get this little gathering space mined out. Godin, our little buddy Godin, is doing a great job mining it all out for us. We're seeing Rith run around there, and Kadul's over there. He's piling up the wood, as we can tell. I want to use my mouse now. He's getting it all right in here. See, they're all bringing in individual ones. And the cats follow people around. Dogs don't tend to do that as much. But you can actually assign people to be trainers of dogs or different animals. So they're piling this here for future use. Because once you put it into your own stockpile, I think it makes it easier in the game for them to calculate how much you actually own versus how much you don't, which is also a cool concept because this is like stage 1 of 4 that I've heard of, and I've never seen stage 2. But like it's right now I'm an outpost, which then you can become like a stronghold, and I think after that it goes to like a city and then a kingdom, where you can send out other like of your own missions to do this same kind of fake thing. Same thing, but like you're not gonna be there right like minding it. Blows me away. Okay, cool. Hey, check it out. So if we go down, let me adjust the view. We can see that he's dug down, made stairs. These are all up-down stairs. And now each layer can actually be interacted with now by me. And I can create... Okay, don't dig there. And I can create more like areas like this. So he's going to start mining that out. I'm going to go down to the next layer. We're actually going to do the same kind of thing. Go down a few layers. Perfect. And we're going to do the same thing right here. So now he's going to start chopping hallways for us to begin kind of our dwarf fortress, our actual fortress. So I also want to define meeting area here so that they'll come in and hang out. Like that. And then this is going to be a meeting area, which will help with their happiness. Perfect. And now our miner will begin mining right there. See, when it flashes yellow on the main Dwarf Fortress screen right here, that means he's going to be coming through to actually mine that location. Just like that. Well, ain't that neat? Nice going, Godin. You get it. You get it, man. Get after those rocks. Knock them out of the park, man. Alright, sweet. And it's interesting because I think we're actually building directly in kind of a... Okay, so this is loam. Loam is something that we did actually want to look for. I didn't realize that that was right there. But the rest of these are rocks. Like this one. This is a clay stone. If you can get a loam floor, like... What is this? Is this clay? No, the black sand. You can plant in black sand. You can plant in loam as a flooring to keep yourself like safe and your farms kind of safe. Typically you can always put those kind of close to the surface. If you're going to do underground like farming, there is above ground farming, which as I'm learning more and more, if you splash water over something and it dries away, then it's mud. But you don't always have to do that because you can plant in the fields. If you notice too, all these white flowers have cropped up in the main game itself here, the game window, but also in our stone sense. So these are dense cotton grasses. And mountain heather. Lots of different options there. So I'm actually going to ask them to have a job. I'm going to ask them to look for plants. Plants, like that. And then if anyone around here in my game... Oh, that actually didn't highlight any kind of plants. How about down here? Can we gather any of these? Those we can. So I guess we can't gather the cotton plants. They're just pretty to look at. And those change seasonally too, because the game does have a whole year, like a year cycle. Because we notice we're in the month of granite right now. And you can actually see that up here too. The 115th year, oh, we must be in a different month now at this point, because we're in 0310. The days just roll by. There's no day-night cycle, obviously. But, yeah. Kind of is. It is what it is. Now we're on the 11th. Very good. Let's see how he's progressing with these tunnels. He's coming along. It's going to be slow going. If we actually take a look, I can check my Dwarf Therapist output. And see that our buddy Godin, he's level 5 in mining out of 20. And that'll over time kind of make him better. Better and better and better. Okay, the first, well, not the first, but the next thing I want to try in 1, 2, 3, a 3x3, and we'll make it a, there we go. We're going to dig out a little kitchen here. Allow our guys to be able to begin perhaps that process. I'm going to assign somebody else who's kind of not doing much right now. We've got somebody who's fishing, it looks like, according to our Dwarf Therapist. But now we have Kodol. Oh, Kadul. He's got no job, so we're going to tell him he can be a miner if he wants. So we're going to commit that change using Dwarf Therapist to the main game. Which now, if there's an extra pickaxe around, which I fingers crossed that there is, he'll kind of go get started. Alright, let's see where that kind of goes. But yeah, so I really want to hear back from you guys kind of what your thoughts are of what you're seeing and what you might like to see differently done to be able to enhance either your viewership or your enjoyment of it. This one's a complicated one to record. I've got like 6 different windows kind of open, and then each of them are like feeding into each other like footage. So I hope too it's high enough resolution and quality that you're actually enjoying it. That's a very important factor for me. So if If you guys are enjoying it, if you're liking what you're seeing, please let me know down in the comments. And talk about it too. If you have any questions about the actual game too, I'd love to talk about it because it's kind of one of my favorites, honestly. Just because the game itself and the way that you play it is so in-depth and so like there's little things there's minute little tasks that you always have to kind of take into account. We haven't even scratched the surface. You can spend probably dozens, if not hundreds of hours on individual fortresses. You will not be seeing that much kind of on the channel, but if you want to see it in a stream or you want to kind of like watch it, by all means, please let me know. Talk for days about this thing. All the different ideas and kind of theories that are there and around. So actually, the more I look it over, the more I think kind of about it. I think I might be able to expand your Stone Sense window to give you guys kind of a better view of the actual game. So I'm going to time out for just a half second, and I'll be back in a minute if we can actually figure this out. Hello again. Basically, I'm not restarting the video. God Lord. But yeah, so I redid it a little bit bigger for you. It should now be showing up a little bit better in kind of the recording itself. I just expanded the window and then recropped it. Stuff that you don't have to worry about, but we're still in it to win it. Yeah, now I've got this ginormous monitor of just kind of the game. It looks super pretty though. So there's all the trees. Let's see, if we go up a layer. Holy cow, look at all those trees coming up. I want to see that layer all the time. I can also explore Stone Sense because I think it's got some other options for rendering up rather than just down. But I think that messes with other stuff too. But yeah, so now they got their little hangout spots. The tunnels are now dug, so we can begin laying out some rooms. So on this level, let's check out what kind of our wall composition is. Claystone walls, tetrahedrite walls. So we also have the river right here, which I'm kind of leery of getting too close to, because if your walls collapse and they flood, which they can, you encounter some problems. Okay, so we're here, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm trying to make areas to store stuff, basically, so kind of like your long-term... Yeah, see, that's dangerous. We do not want that, so unmark that. Take that away. So kind of this whole pocket here, we will have kind of our, maybe kind of stone storage, maybe. And then, let's see, make this something else. We have a little more room there on the top. You kind of have to be careful too not to collapse things, because you can do that too. If you make like huge open areas, which these kinds of are, but also I'm not terribly worried. The physics and the dynamics in this game are very interesting. Oh, we do have a second miner. Check that out. Who else is helping us? That's Godin and Kadul. Yeah, Kadul actually picked it up. He did it. He's in it. Good for him. Very good. He found a job to do. He was a little bored before, but now he's got some work. Okay, and we'll head down here and make that up. So now they're just going to start on those. Those are going to be the basic storerooms. We also need kind of a workshop. We'll do that down on this layer, because we'll place it really close to our actual location. So the best way I found to do this is most workshops that we're going to use early on. So 1, 2, 3 are 3 long. So 1, 2, 3 like that. And then we're just going to run this down a ways. And that's room for a lot of shops, but the dwarves don't care about organic like architecture as much as just kind of what gets done. So we'll start like that. And then they can run up and grab stuff, and then it's all easily accessible kind of right there. And again, I have no idea what the exact best way to do this is. I could always go and research. Or you guys could help me recommend some readings maybe to learn more about the game. And then we can all grow as a community and get better at the game. I think this is a beautifully done game. Even though the actual interface, the one right here, isn't as pretty as kind of the one that we got going next to us over there. There? The recording software is now off the screen, so I actually don't know which one is which. But that's okay. I know I'm distracted. I just want to watch them work in this window all the time because it's this beautiful rendering of kind of what's going on in the world. But we ourselves have work to do. Kind of. Alright, so what... Yeah, the kitchen's actually done, so now we can talk about kind of workshops. So if I press B, it's to build stuff, and then W is workshops, which is just this huge menu of like all the different things that are available to actually be done. So the one that I was just discussing is the kitchen. Is keyboard shortcut Z. So we're going to put that there. So now he's going to start work on that, and then I also want to put in a food storage area right behind that. So once they get the chance, hopefully they're going to come back and start digging that out, but I've given them tons of digging assignments, so at this point, it's really just sit back, relax, let them do their job. And then hope to God a kobold or something else doesn't show up to try and murder everyone before we're ready. They'll be running on these tasks for quite a while. Let's see, even in the top right, actually, of the main game window, we have very few idlers out of our 7. Most people do have tasks that they're trying to go about and actually do. Let's see, is the kitchen actually already laid out? Kitchen is laid out, so we're going to assign them an easy meal, and we're going to hit R to repeat that task indefinitely for as many resources are as available. Words, right? How long have I even been recording for? Oh god! Oh god! Oh god, it's in the view! About 30 minutes. Look at me going all quiet. Gonna make me do a lot of editing later. But yeah, so they've been over the years. I have actually technically played this game for quite a few years. I discovered it way back in high school for myself, which I'm an old geezer at this point. I feel it. I'm not. I know it. Hush. All you commentators in the future potentially making fun of me for saying I'm old. I'm not that old. I understand. I feel it sometimes, but I know I'm not old. But yeah, so back in high school, which would have been 20... well, I graduated in 2014, 2012 area. I would have discovered the game, so almost 7 years I've known about this game in kind of some regards, and it's been in development for just kind of as long, with features continuously being added and refinements and bug fixes. Just an astounding amount of work, and the entire project actually is, as far as I've known, being done by one person. Oh god, I forgot to define stuff. Hold on. Z, kitchen, please don't cook seeds. Dear god, please don't. Okay, cooking it destroys the seeds, and they can eat them raw, so don't cook or brew that. Seeds, they're not cooking any of them, thank god. Oh, that was scary. That was not what I intended to see happen. Okay, so we're gonna go down here, go down here, go down here, and then we are going to make this area a farm. Like that? Sure. Is that how I want to have access? I think I can go like that. And then we'll make like a small one right here. If it's available. I don't know if the land in here is going to be usable. But we can make those like anything that we want, basically. Let's see how they're doing. Ah, it's coming along. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to take them a while. Like that's a lot of digging to kind of get through. So I dig it though. That was weird. Oh god, hey, we just got our first load of migrants though. So this will technically help us speed things up. Let's go check out how many we actually got. So if we hit Z, we can see kind of the current population is 8 because the first one just set foot into our environment. So if we hit play and we kind of let that run, we sing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Woo! That's a lot. We just yeah, we went from 7 to 14. I don't know how I counted in 9 though. Maybe I double counted some. But yeah, so we're up to 14 then. Sweet. That's a heck of a lot. Which I also just realized I was hoping to be able to use... Oh! Oh, they're giving you warnings now in the new game? Yeah. So the yaks actually technically cannot eat off of the ground. So got it. I'm going to hit pause. We're going to hit I, come in here. Oh, that's also what we need to do then. Okay. Okay, so if we hit I, we can set, like, areas to be, like, used. So we're going to set this area to actually be a animal training. And also a meeting space? Question mark? N. N. There it is. We're going to assign our yak. See, and I've never been good at this either. So if that yak dies, I apologize. So that's poultry and chicken, I think. Wait, so let's see. G? Okay, so the yak, they're non-taming. Or they're non-grazing. Wait. Wait, what does that even mean? Hold on. Okay, so DF hack is actually giving me some of this extra stuff. So if I'm in N, I'm going to say, so that's... Okay, so N is down here. Currently pastured. All of the dogs and cats, they're good. So the ones that are not caged should be showing. The ones that are non-grazing. Oh, okay. So the non-grazing ones are taken away because they're not included in it. These are the animals that are grazing. It takes so long to understand. So the chicken and the poultry are non-grazing, but we're still going to put them here, and hopefully somebody like brings them here so that they can eat. Because I think they can eat some of these grasses. Let's see. Let's check it out. So the yak's moving. Yak's moving out. Yak is headed on over. Oh, hey. The pits of Coily have been founded nearly a day's travel to the north and looks to your thriving economy for its future prosperity. See, they've added things in because the last time I played, or the last version that I played a lot of was 2017's versioning. So I'm almost 2 years out on new details that have been added. So it's a game I've played before, but I'm still returning to new exciting things. So that's neat. So now things like trade and emissaries can be kind of sent back and forth. So the yak is now in that zone, and I hope he's eating food. Let's check in on him. If we press K, we can kind of look at that yak. We can see him in the other video, like right here. There he is. Yak cow. One-humped camel. I don't know where dwarves get a one-humped camel from. A large mammalian herbivore. It has long fur and curving horns. It can be found in the mountains. Her hair is charcoal. Her skin is dark brown. Her eyes are black. So yeah, that's the stray yak cow right there. And then it's getting hungry and possibly about to die, so that's unfortunate. Hopefully it finds enough nutrition out there. We don't just have an unfortunate dead yak cow on our hands. Let's go down a layer, check out how everyone's doing down here. We do have 6 idlers, and that's unfortunate. So I'm going to give them a job. I am going to assign them a location that they can bring wood to, which is located up here next to our base of operations. And now the idlers, of course, drops to 0 because dwarves who are unassigned, every single one of them has the ability to be a hauler, this job is called. So they'll take on that job and then they'll go off and do stuff. So that's good. That's all good right there. So those guys are working. These guys are working. So things are moving along. Yeah, definitely moving along. I don't know. Kind of at this point, it's kind of like Dwarf Fortress is one of those that you kind of sit back, kind of relax, just watch as things are going by. Who knows? That might be the bad idea that you're supposed to be working all the time, and I just kind of forgot at this point what exactly I need to be doing. Oh god, something died. Wombat. A frickin' wombat? Wait. Who's been fighting? Interrupted by a horse? Oh, is there a wild horse out there? Oh, please tell me there's a wild horse. Wait, is that blood? No, that's a strawberry. Okay. Wait, and then if you press R, Wombat's fighting, view report, something's been chipping. Yeah, check that out. So the game records, if you're looking at like the actual output of the Wombat combat, which took place, the Wombat attacked somebody, which it looks like... Do we have a name? I don't know who was in combat, but it looks like somebody got attacked by a Wombat. And then they had a... Yeah. So somebody got attacked by the Wombat. Wombat's fighting back. They are fighting back. And then the person who was using the crossbow won. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, he was hunting. Yeah. Oh, sorry. He was hunting. Brewer Urvad. He's a hunter. And so he took it upon himself and he went hunting. And then he chased down a Wombat. And its corpse is right here. We have to take care of it because if we leave it, it's going to not get used. So we're going to... It's tasked. Let's see. Dump it. And they'll bring it to the dump at some point. Oh, do you see that? That's miasma. That's purple. That's kind of what's coming out of that kitchen right there. Let's check what's leaving it. Tetrahedrite, miasma, kitchen. I'm not seeing anything left. Anything bad. I don't know what's creating that actually then. Let's see if we can spot anything. No, I'm just seeing the floor. Wait, does the kitchen need cleaning? Render fat? No, it shouldn't. I wonder if it needs more room then in order to like stay clean. There's so many things about this I don't actually understand. So really this video is intended to be kind of a trial run of Dwarf Fortress on the channel for me to be playing Talaman. Kind of just a look at what's some of our options out there as a community to play, to discuss, to get after. We can always try and learn more, do more things, kind of like this, or we can stick to other games. My hope is always that you guys will make suggestions as to what you want to see on the channel take place. That will help me find things to do and things that you actually enjoy watching. But for now, I think I am going to kind of basically call a timeout. Hey, thanks so much for watching this episode, kind of a deal. We might make this into a series, but I want you guys to let me know if you'd like to see more about it. Because that's the biggest thing. I don't know if you like this setup where I'm in this tiny little box and then we've got like stone sense going on over there in the main game kind of above my head where you kind of see what kind of is happening, but also just kind of what is going on with the game. So with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and leave your comments and thoughts and ideas down below, and I will be sure to take them into consideration as we're moving forward with the channel. And that goes for everything. I want to hear back from you guys all the time. And we're doing a really good job recently of talking a lot. Uncle67, you're in the comments going hard all the time. There's a whole bunch of you out there that are making comments, making waves. And that really means a lot to me. It's impactful. It means a lot. I don't know why I just like kind of fist bump my own chest, but like I meant it right here. It means a lot. So yeah, thank you. And I will see you guys in the next video, whatever it ends up being. So, bye-bye for now.